I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day.
Anti-Afro Bengalis. This is part 2 of the video that I posted last night, or early this morning, I should say. And this is a response to the interview that KKC had on the Anti-ADOS Freaks page. And I wanted to make sure a couple of things were brought forth, were noted. So one thing I want to say to you, KKC, you mentioned, and I'm paraphrasing again, that I am trying to or planning to publicly humiliate you. That was your statement. And I'm going, that's interesting. That KKC would say that about me, of all people. I say that because for the last year, if not more, you have tried to publicly humiliate me. You tried to do it on that platform last night when you had that interview. You went as far as to even give false information about me, aka you lied on me, because you wanted to make, in your mind, and I guess for other people to also agree with you, about my situation, my personal situation. And what you said was 100% false. But it's very interesting that you use the word publicly humiliate. You have been trying extremely hard to do that to me, but there is one obstacle you're not going to be able to overcome. I need to relinquish power in order for you to do that. And I'm not going to do that. You can say whatever you want. Like, you can open your mouth like you were doing and you can speak the words. But what you're saying is not going to result in the outcome that you're looking. Not with me. But I am very, very curious about your motives when it comes to a specific issue. You brought up a situation that I know you're familiar with because I told you about it. Law enforcement intervention with a certain person, and you made a point, KKC, to mention that person's name. You made a point to do that. It's curious that you did that. And then you called to question the status. You called it a criminal lawsuit. No, it would be a criminal case. You're aware that the threats suddenly stopped. You know this. They stopped because law enforcement got involved, KKC, and you're very much aware of this, and you know the conditions I was given, but you don't give a damn about that. It sounds like you're trying to come for my safety when you bring up the situation and you name names. That's what it feels like. Not only that, you continue to mention the camming up situation. What is your investment in that? You're mentioning the case situation that you know about, and now you're talking about me camming up and how the court, again, I'm just referencing your discussion. They're going to have to show me my face. They're going to have to reveal me. But you know what you're doing when you keep bringing this up? You are building a very strong case for a judge to decline that request that I quote, cam up. Because there have been other people in these YouTube streets that have stated, I filed a lawsuit because I want to see her picture. So you're building a case to support me if I ever decide, and if this ever happens, that that's a route I would go. Who said that's a route I would go? You're making a lot of assumptions, KKC. So until everybody in your chat cams up, you really need to stop trying to come for my safety, because that's how I interpret it. Now, let's think about this. You felt well within your rights to say what you said about me, and come for my safety. So let's think about your reaction if someone, anybody, decided to start covering your situation from court records. You wouldn't be happy about that. So it's okay for you to come for people's safety, to come for people's families, but you got bent out of shape because Remix mentioned beats. And I can't decide about the beats. I don't know the technicalities of that. We just know the finished product. But Remix says that you weren't being truthful. So if he says that, you say something different, are you telling us that Remix doesn't have a right to respond to you? Based on your attitude, yes, that's how you portray the situation because you were extremely emotional and upset that people were taking jabs at you. But you're coming for Gerald Palmer's family and you're coming for my safety and you get pissed because people are taking jabs at you about beats. Get real, KKC. Let's make it very clear. Where you're going, where you think you have a right to go with people, we will respond to you. You cannot tell anybody that they are prohibited from talking about you. And that's what you seem to be saying. Stop talking about me. I'm tired of this. Well, you know what? Gerald Palmer's tired of you coming for his family. Well, I'm tired of you telling lies about me. You can put out whatever you want, technically speaking. But when you start trying to come for my safety, that is something I'm going to address. Leave the situation alone. You would not appreciate it, nor did you appreciate it when someone did something to you, threatening you about making certain contacts in relationship to your situation. You had a reaction to that. But you seem to think people should not have any reaction when you cross all these lines. Again, KKC, we have a right to talk about you. Just as you were taking liberties to say all the foul, disgusting comments about us. If you really believe that I was so irrelevant, if you really believe I am so crazy, if you really believe nobody gives a damn what I say, including you, what is the reason that you have not been able to demonstrate that by your actions? You haven't stopped talking about me. You haven't stopped making money off me. Now, let me be clear about something. You go to your platform. On your platform, you don't have any marquees over there. And what I say by marquees, and this is not insulting anyone, because I do believe there are people who go to different, some people may be in your chat and they go to another space. And I'll tell you how we know this. People were shocked when they showed up. That was a little discussion people had. They were surprised that these people came over. They weren't causing any trouble or anything like that, but people were surprised to see them. Now, there was one person who I won't name at this point, came over to Remix's space and was starting shit. He booted her. A few other people have come and they're just doing what they're doing. Yes, they can go wherever they want to go. But getting back to the point, you don't have any marquees in your channel. You don't have any marquees on your platform. Honest with you, KKC, you're not a marquee. What I mean by that, you don't venture out, or you rarely venture out. You go to Lennon's, I think you said you go to, and that person's platform. I don't know if you go over there on a regular basis or not, where you were interviewed. But your name is not bringing people out. What we know is true is mentioning certain people's names gets, what do they call it? I don't want to say subs. Get recommendations in I don't know what the word is. It's recommended. It comes up as a topic that is covered on a regular basis, or people do a lot of content on it, and your name is not among those topics. So what do? You make a point to bring in people's names who are on that, what do you call it, hot list, who would that be? That would be Gerald Palmer. That would be Remix. And unfortunately, most unfortunately, you seem to be putting most of your attention on me. Build your own channel. Make yourself a marquee. You don't have to use me to do it anymore, KKC. You've made enough money off me. When are you going to hold to your promise that I'm irrelevant, that I'm crazy, that nobody wants to hear what I have to say, that I'm all of these things? You continue to say these things and make yourself and other people money, but you're not living that out. If you really felt that way, you would act that way. Fact of the matter is that you don't. What has happened, KKC? After I left your chat, you became even more interested in me. You were extremely angry with me. You were talking shit about me because I went over to the Smokes live stream. I wasn't in your live stream anymore. We were not talking anymore. I believe I left a post on your community page. Yes, I remember that. I left a post on your community page when the situation happened initially with the beats, because there was one specific aspect that had nothing to do with the beats that I addressed with Remix. I'm not getting into that. You know what that is. And I left you a message of support. But aside from that, I never went back to your chat. Like, I've never been back to your chat. Ever. So I'm not there. So what is the reason that it would matter to you that I'm in Smoke's live stream? You were so upset you kept talking about it in your sneak panels. What's the reason you're invested in that? There should be no investment. I'm gone. I should be out of sight, out of mind. But no, you kept bearing down. You kept making money off me. And then you found an opportunity to strike rapidly and fiercely when you went after Smoke with that copyright strike. And I know you did it because I was in that chat. Smoke had never done anything to you. I mean, there are people I believe in your chat that were talking shit about him and he responded to them. But you? I don't recall. If I'm incorrect, I mean, people are free to say that. I know there are other people who came for you because you had people in your chat that were doing certain things to these individuals and you were tied into that. But Smoke didn't have anything to do with that. But again, that's your choice. If you want to go send a copyright strike in, and you can do that. And you refuse to take the strike off. I guess that felt good. You're using other people's materials. You basically bit off Umar Johnson's idea. However you want to put it, and you're running around here guarding up copy strike alert. You said in multiple sneak panels, if you use any of my content. No, KKC, that's false. Audio is not something that can be stricken as a copyright unless maybe you're playing NFL audio or WWE audio. But in general, just audio is not something you can strike with copyright. And I've learned that since then. But I think it was something else Smoke used of yours that you sent a copyright strike in. And down went Smoke's channel. I'm sure you felt good about that. Hey, that's not good enough for you. Then you started going in on me. Remember, we're not even talking, KKC. We are not on speaking terms. Then you turn it up when I go to Remix's panel. I go to very few panels. 3 of the panels I've been moderator long term, and they're not specifically in this Umar space. But you went off when I went to Remix's channel. We're not even talking to each other. Why is there a concern? Why is there an investment? Why is all this emotion about me being in Remix's channel? And then you start to disparage him by including me in something that doesn't even exist. And I think I pretty much know the reason that you're doing that. What you're trying to do, you're trying to isolate me by insulting Remix. Oh, she's your boss and you're doing what she says. And do you remember how upset you got when people would say that to you about me? You became extremely angry and you even punished me for that. How are you punishing me? You found a way to punish me because people were saying that you had your nose fire up my ass. I mean, you were totally pissed about that. You didn't want me saying essentially anything at all because you're trying to blame me for this. I can't tell people what the hell to say and what to think, but here you are doing the same thing, including people in conflicts that have nothing to do with them at all. There was no reason for you to bring up Remix's name, and then you were mentioning what was PayPal. I think you said, and I stand corrected if this is not what you stated. I think you stated that I was paying Remix. Initially, I was told you said that I was getting money. So let's lay that to rest. I never received one half of a rusty penny from anybody in association with anything I've ever done on YouTube. So I'm sure you said that I gave him money. So I don't understand that either. I supported your channel. And when I donated, I didn't even look back. At one point, KKC, when I migrated the channel, the first channel, the channel wasn't taken down, all these rumors. I had membership with you, double membership, because I forgot to discontinue the other membership. I was paying you double membership for what? How many months? 3, 4 months? I was paying Lennon double membership. Did I come back to you and complain about that and demand the money back? No. So what the hell are you talking about? You're saying I'm paying people. What is the reason it's your concern? If I'm irrelevant, if I'm crazy, if no one cares what I say, if you don't care what I say, if you've moved on, what is the reason that you continue talking about me and making money off me? What you're doing is foul. You can't be coming for people and expect people to say nothing to you. That is not going to happen. Now, before I had my reasons for using restraint when it came to you, and it had nothing to do with fear. I'm not going to get into that right now. But you took full advantage of that and you mistook it for you can say whatever you wanted about me. You can't say whatever you want about me without me responding. So if you don't want people talking about you in the manner that you were talking about them, don't initiate. Don't instigate. This is you being upset with us, telling us, I don't want to associate with AFW because of the petty shit. Petty shit? You were pretty, quote, petty on that platform last night. You lost control. The only people that didn't lose control were the ones you were talking about. So don't lecture anybody about what they can and can't say unless it's somebody crossing the line. Then yeah, you can expect people not to cross the line with you, but it goes both ways, KKC. You cannot expect people to give you all this reverence and respect and deference when you're shitting on people. That's not how life works. So I want to make sure you know, yes, we will talk about you when we want to talk about you. When I say we, that means anybody. You're not exempt. And this has to be stated. You, KKC, would be one situation in person, and those in your chat are totally separate. They're not related to you as far as I'm concerned. So I don't care what these people say. I'm not tying it into you. If I have something to say to anybody in your chat that was leaving all these just harebrained cockamamie messages, I will deal with those people individually. They're not tied to you, KKC, not as far as I am concerned. And I will deal with these people on a case by case basis if it's necessary. So I am making this one more time clear. You don't have any right to try to restrict anybody from doing something that you're doing. And it's not illegal. If you don't want people replicating the conduct that you are perpetrating on them, we're excluding illegal acts, then simply refrain from the conduct. If you choose not to, then people get to decide whether or not they're going to respond to you. That's how life works. That's how mature adults move. People, I want to make sure that you know there is always much more to come. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.